Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys for tuning in. We are back December 2nd. That's when this video is going to come out. I'm doing it the 1st, but it's going to come out the 2nd. You feel me? This is going to be the first look at the Week 13 Draftkings slate breakdown. Before I even get into this slate, because it's probably going to be a 30-minute video, I would like to thank you guys. Let's clap it up. Clap it up. You showed out. You showed up. You showed out. I asked for some more subscribers. We got some more subscribers. Thank you. We're up to 186 now. We almost at that 200. That was a big jump because I was struggling to get 2 for like 3 weeks. But we made a huge jump out of nowhere. The video for the showdown, the game didn't play yet. The video, I put it out in a couple hours. It got 178 views. Impressive. I am surprised. Thank you. Thank you. Show them some love. Show them some love there. I want that consistency. Like me putting out these videos consistently. I want to see that on each of my videos that I put out. None of these 9 and 10, 15. No. We shooting for more now. We shooting for 200 subscribers, and then we're gonna shoot for more after that. But it's a stepping stone. All right. So let's hop into this Week 13 slate. Enough about the congratulations and everything, because that's expected. Because with hard work, you put in time, you get results. So we're going to look at this slate. We have a crazy slate. I'm going to just start with salaries. Russell Wilson against the Giants. Giants have been playing solid defense. Russell Wilson, I don't know what happened to him, because he was MVP candidate the first, 6-7 weeks. Look at these numbers: 34, 34, 39, 35 against Arizona, 28. And then once that Rams game came around, this man has fell off a cliff. If the coaching is horrible for Seattle, some of these decisions that Russell Wilson is making is kind of horrible as well. They're still winning games, but it's not as crisp as like we saw in the first half of the season. I don't know. People are just understanding the Seattle offense more. Maybe a big proponent is that they've been missing Chris Carson, and I think he's a play this week that you need to focus on. Russell Wilson, I like him, but I might have a favorite another quarterback to look at. Kyler Murray against the Rams. You got to watch out for this one. I can kind of see a similar performance like he did against New England. I don't think it'd be this bad, but the Rams are a formidable defense. He's got to deal with Ramsey. He's got to deal with Aaron Donald. They have a good front seven and a solid secondary that can disrupt Kyler Murray and especially disrupt his number one target in DeAndre Hopkins. Okay. And we're moving down. These higher priced quarterbacks, it's looking like we're looking for the mid-tier. Deshaun Watson against Indy, and he loses Will Fuller because of PEDs. I don't like this. Deshaun Watson off back-to-back great performances. Now he's facing an embarrassed Colts team because they got ran all over against with the Titans. Now you got to deal with Houston and Watson. 7,500. We need a minimum of 20 plus. Watson, he could get there. They are the home team, but there's not a slam dunk quarterback so far. We're still moving on. We're going down to Herbert, 6,900. This is another tough matchup, but I think Herbert can do it. He's been very consistent no matter what defense he's faced. Miami was a very good defense. Denver was a solid defense, especially in Denver. Still got you 20. He doesn't get you under 20. He pretty much doesn't. So I think he's pretty safe to have. Pair him up with, now since he's going against New England, Bill Belichick is going to lock in those number one wide receivers. So we might be looking at more Mike Williams, more Jalen Guyton, more Hunter Henry in this situation. And then they also have the ability of Eckler being back. So him out of the backfield is also going to be a good option. Right now, my favorite quarterback, just looking on first look, is probably going to be Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers at home against Philadelphia. He should absolutely smoke this past D. Darius Slay got killed by Metcalf, and Devontae Adams can do the same thing. He's just more precise with his routes. A sure-handed beast, has the speed. Not as physical as Metcalf, but come on, let's be serious here. So far, we're going to put Aaron Rodgers in there as a quarterback. I really like his matchup against the Eagles. And they'll have Matt LaFleur will be ready. They'll have better play calling and actually take advantage of this poor pass D. Kirk Cousins is very viable against Jacksonville. They have a bad pass D as well. He's hard to trust. He's been showing up the past 2 weeks, which is a big surprise. They lost against Dallas, and then they won against Carolina. That was a good comeback in that one. I think they're going to need to lean on Kirk Cousins more. There's a lot of reports coming out that Dalvin Cook is really banged up and tired, so they're going to be mixing in more Madison. Kirk Cousins is going to have to shoulder more weight. Wow, I said that totally backwards. He's going to have to put more pressure on him, on his shoulders, and carry this team. They definitely have the receivers. Adam Thielen should be back in this game. And we're moving on. Taysom Hill, 6,300. This is the week for mid-tier. I'm seeing it right now. We got Kirk Cousins. We got Taysom Hill with the rushing ability. I told you about Aaron Rodgers. Taysom Hill, let's go back to him. Dual threat. They had a big game against the Raiders. I was very surprised they even won that game. But Taysom Hill is going to give you a rushing upside and a passing upside. He did nothing in the passing department, but still got you 18 DK. I definitely like him at this 6,300 price. We can go back to him. I know how bad Atlanta defense is. Derek Carr is still and that's why they beat that team. But Sean Payton is going to have a great scheme ahead for this Atlanta team that he's going to go up against. I like Taysom Hill. We're looking at Tannehill, not really looking for that. Against Cleveland. Cleveland's a solid team. They do have some injuries. Greedy Williams, I don't think he'll be able to play. What we got here on this Cleveland team? Before we go in there. It was right here. Okay. So they put their safety on IR, and Greedy Williams has nerve damage. He was already placed on IR anyway. So Cleveland is still a very tough defense. This is not a guy I look for, to bring me to the top of the tournament. It'll be in a rare occasion where I'm even looking at Ryan Tannehill, and this is not the week against the Cleveland Browns defense. Fitzpatrick, there's a 50-50 chance Fitzpatrick or Tua. We don't know, so we're going to wait on that. Even though it is a solid matchup against Cincinnati Bengals and their poor defense. So wait and see on that one. We might want to go back to that right back to Fitzpatrick. If Tua plays, I don't know. Because the defense can clearly carry this team. At least I know Fitzpatrick is going to be willing to be a gunslinger and get that ball to Devontae Parker, to Mike Gesicki. He was actually using these weapons, and when I show you later, when we go into the wide receiver and tight end, you can see the targets, you see the potential, and you saw the touchdowns. Phillip Rivers going up against Houston. This is another solid spot. This is a solid spot here. I like the combo of Rivers and Taylor. If he's back from the COVID list, Houston has a very bad secondary. They lost a wide receiver and they lost one of the best corners. So when I was I was on Michael Pittman last week. I'm going right back to the well, especially against Houston, and they dropped my boy's price. I didn't even get to the wide receivers section yet, and Pittman is a lock. Pittman is a lock. Hilton was a fluke. Pittman is a lock. Remember that. We're going down for some cheaper options. Derek Carr against the Jets. Obviously, this is a good situation for him. This could be the Henry Ruggs game. Picking apart our secondary. Definitely open to that idea. Derek Carr against the Jets. This is a solid option as well. It's the week to pay down at quarterback. Don't pay up. pay down. This is the first look, but this is how it's looking like. Jared Goff against Arizona. When we have this LA Rams team going up against a poor pass defense in a high total, you know Jared Goff to Woods to Cup. Put all three of them in the lineup, and you will be just fine. This is a prime spot for him against Arizona. He had a poor performance against San Francisco, and I figured that because San Francisco plays them tough, and Richard Sherman is back. Now, you saw potential against him against Tampa Bay. You saw the 3 touchdowns. He should have done better against Seattle, but Arizona, the pace that they play is going to lead to more opportunities for the Rams on the offensive side of the ball. Okay, we're moving down. I hate Cam Newton. I hate Cam. He screwed me in Yo, how do you get me 5 points? First of all, change your hair. You look stupid. You look like one of the... Remember Pikmin from the GameCube? You look stupid. We're not... No. I don't mean to be biased, but you suck. You can't throw the ball. No. We're not doing Cam. Winston is not even an option. Stafford, I don't know what happened to you. You didn't show up for Thanksgiving, and you're not going to show up against Chicago's defense that is solid. Matt Ryan, he has no rushing upside. You would literally need him to throw 4 touchdowns, and it's getting ugly from here. Trubisky is an option. Thank you for seeing that. I forgot about this. A lot of people in the betting community are going to be on Detroit. And there's one team, like, I get it. You don't trust the Eagles. Cool. They suck. I get it. We don't trust the Bears. They started out hot and now they suck. But the person I absolutely don't trust the most is the Lions and Matt Patricia. I do not trust that team, not a 1 bit, not a 1 ounce, not a 1 nothing. I don't care if the man got fired. I can't. The Lions are horrible. When, like, I thought my team was bad, they are bad. But the Lions just know how to lose. If you watch that Thanksgiving game and you saw they literally gave that game away. Fumble after fumble. No. Trubisky he's in a situation where he needs to prove to Matt Nagy, to the Bears, that he still can be the quarterback. Nick Foles is down right now, and Trubisky needs to have a big performance. He got the goosebumps out in the first game against Green Bay. I see the 2 turnovers. The 3 fumbles, I didn't even notice that. That's horrible. He needs to lock in on ball security, but the threat of rushing is so huge for this offense. It really means a lot. Because if you watch the last 5 games of Chicago with Foles, he had so many. If they had a rushing quarterback, they could have won half of those games instead of all these 3 and outs. Like, having a quarterback that can get you a first down from his legs is huge. It's a breath of fresh air. Because obviously you're not going to trust his arm 100%. He does throw some crazy miscues, but the legs is a huge option. And he was part of the reason why they were 5-0. He didn't really make a mistake. But they just threw him Foles in anyway. So, even in a bad game, this is my example. Even in a bad game, they lost by 16. The man still got you 21 fantasy points. He had 3 fumbles and 2 interceptions. Still got you 21. The upside is there. That is my punt quarterback of the week. And I think we're moving on. Because we're not playing Darnold. Flacco's been playing better than Darnold anyway. So we're moving on. Punt play. Remember, no, I'm going to take him. I'm going to take Rodgers out. We're going to put Trubisky in because I want to show you value. Okay? We know the mid-tier is rock solid. Here is a cheaper option for you at the quarterback position. We're going to go on to running back. Now, I told you about how they want to monitor this guy's usage, Dalvin Cook. He's really getting tired. The article's right here on RotoWorld. You need to be connected with this type of information. because COVID and injuries. The thing is crazy. He's kind of beat up. The coach knows. Offensive coordinator knows. He's beat up. They're going to be mixing him more. He's still a bell cow back. And when he gets these opportunities in the red zone, he's still someone to look forward to. Facing the absolute worst, one of the worst rushing defenses, this can be another big blow up spot for Dalvin Cook, like you've seen in week 8 and week 9. He is very valuable. Have him in your lineups. He doesn't have to be a huge lock, but have him in there. Derrick Henry has been an absolute monster. When it's cold weather, it's every single year. November, December, every single year. November, December. This man comes out of nowhere and becomes a freaking robot. Runs over everyone. You see back-to-back games, 23, 41. He can go to another level. You think he can't? This man can. Cleveland has an okay defense, but it doesn't matter because Colts were the number 1 defense, and he ran absolutely all over them. They use him like it's no one's business. It's ridiculous. He is very viable. Like I said, if we're paying down at QB, you got to be paying at one position. It's probably going to be running back. You already see Dalvin Cook with a great matchup, and you know the usage for Derrick Henry. Nick Chubb on the other side, solid. Performance last week, 144, got you the TD. Like I said, he was one of my locks. He was my lock. I told you guys. Jacksonville. So that can be the same scenario for Dalvin Cook. Tennessee is okay run defense. They're a little worse on that pass defense side. So you can see I'm really not trusting Baker Mayfield with passing at all. But they are a run-first team. So Chubb and Hunt are going to be mixed in very well. 7,700 is a solid price. Josh Jacobs, questionable. He has a good matchup, and he has a shot to play. If he doesn't play, we're going to be looking at Devontae Booker. Devontae Booker is at 5,500 this week going up against the Jets. Watch the news because if Jacobs is out, I'm going straight to Booker, and we can lock that in. That cheap, a bell cow back. We know what Gruden does. He loves his backs. We're going there. James Robinson, very consistent, 7,300. Has been doing very well this year. Cleveland showed up and showed out. Had some tough, rough patches between Pittsburgh and Green Bay. Good bounce back spot, but I don't think I'm looking at him too crazy as one of my main plays. All right. Aaron Jones definitely will be used. This is a good matchup for him. Just off the fact that the Eagles' pass D is so bad, Green Bay can pick apart them in so many ways. They're going to be focused on that pass, and that's going to leave lanes open up for Aaron Jones, okay? It's going to leave – and then look at this. See the rushing defense, 23rd. Aaron Jones – I know people are going to be looking at Rodgers, and I said Rodgers, but Aaron Jones can have one of those big breakout weeks at 7,200. He's supposed to be more high priced than this. This is kind of too cheap for him. Around 7, 8. You're getting at a $600 discount, so that's pretty decent right there. I like that. Austin Eckler against New England. We've seen him in his first game back, right back to regular usage. 14 carries. 16 targets, 11 receptions. This is a money play. Right here. We go right back to him. He's getting that receiving work. I understand the game script was a big factor in that, but you could take some of those receptions away and give me a touchdown, and I'll be just fine. Eckler is a solid play. Alvin Kamara, I still don't like it, but I don't like it. It's Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill takes so much away from him. It takes so much away from him in the red zone. And as you can see, the way Taysom Hill's getting his points is because he's taking away from Kamara. Those TDs, 2 TDs. That could have been Kamara. I don't know how cheap, how far you're going to let Kamara fall, but it's got to be until Breeze comes back, man, because he's a killer. He's a killer to Kamara. That game had to be a blowout, and that's why they got those two touchdowns and he went off. But that first offense, he's going to be killing Kamara's production. You got to watch out for that. Madison becomes an option as well. Like I said, Dalvin Cook. Why is he so high priced? What? Are we expecting an injury? They're expecting Cook not to play because they priced this man up. They must be expecting it. He got a $900 jump. They just like they're baiting you. I don't know. That's kind of fishy. Miles Sanders, I've been waiting for you. I drafted you. Every fantasy football podcast was drooling over this man, waiting for him to break out. He had 2 games this year that's breakout worthy. Other than that, you've been kind of a bust. Now, you've been injured. You've been in and out. Swift is always an X factor. Wasn't able to play in the Thanksgiving game. You have to watch the injury report, see if he can play against Chicago. That is definitely an X factor in that game. One of my favorite running back plays right here. I'm going to put him in. Chris Carson is too cheap. Okay? Let's say this again. Chris Carson is too cheap. Going up against the Giants, I see a nice path of victory for Seattle. With Daniel Jones being out, they can take advantage of that team, slow down the clock, run the ball, and really use Carson's ability to smash and smother defensive lines. Okay, he gets receiving work. He's going to get the carries in the red zone. He's going to get a lot of usage. I like him at 6,300. I think he's too cheap. We're going to put him in the value column over here. All right, we got Trubisky, we got Carson, and we're moving on. Not looking at Jonathan Williams. Boston Scott has been outproducing Miles Sanders the last couple weeks. If you want to get cute with that, that's really a dicey play. That's not a solid play to go with in your lineups. Latavius Murray was the guy that really did well since it was a blowout against Denver. But I don't expect that again. Duke Johnson going up against the Colts. I don't like that matchup at all. He was able to pick apart a little bit of the Detroit Lions defensive line, but the Colts just got off an embarrassing loss. I think they're going to show up. Kenyon Drake, I still like Edmonds better. And then Wayne Gallman has been the picture-perfect player of consistency. Not really breaking out, but getting you double-digit points every single week, 5,600. It's still viable to get you 15 points plus. That'll leave you in the conversation in these tournaments and let someone else carry the team. At 5,600, I still like that price for Wayne Gallman against Seattle, okay? And they're going to be leaning on him more since Daniel Jones is probably going to be out. Montgomery, he had a great matchup against Green Bay. I figured that. I think I said it in the video. I was pretty sure, even if I did a video on that one, I don't know if I did. But Green Bay, bad run defense. You saw what happened. Got some pass catching work as well. Detroit is an even worse rushing defense. And Trubisky's going to be, on the run, looking for someone to dump the ball off to. He's not really that well connected with the wide receivers. Montgomery's that safety net. I see the upside here. We're going to put him in as a value play. I like this. I already got Trubisky. I can pair him with Montgomery. And if I really want to get cute, I throw in Allen Robinson. But that's maybe later. I want to look at some targets who he's really, really targeting in that game against Green Bay. Let's continue on running backs. Do we see any others? I talked about Booker already. Kareem Hunt. They're going to use that two-headed monster against Tennessee, but I don't really love that play. Hines is now behind Taylor since he's been showing up. We don't know about Todd Gurley, about his injury. We will wait and see on that. Yeah, we don't know yet. We got to watch the injury report on that. Giovanni Bernard is the starter with Mixon out. but I don't like this matchup against Miami's stout D. So I'm skipping that. Damian Harris, not much upside in there. James White showed some semblance of a game this last week. This came out of nowhere. This was not even expected. And it wasn't even well, it was the catches last week, but this week it wasn't. It was touchdowns. They used him in the red zone. He's good in the red zone. This could be, Bill Belichick's, since Burkhead is injured, and they're going to use White in the red zone now. He is a shifty back. I don't know if I expect that for him, but he can be a punt play at 5K. Let's see, a little lower, Chase Edmonds. I like him more than Kenyon Drake. I'm going to say it every single time, but it's not a good matchup. Brian Hill is a freaking bust, and I don't like you, and you're a freaking bust. The next punt play. So we're going to skip White. This guy I like more as a punt play. Cam Akers was able to finally break out. I don't think everyone noticed, but he was able to show life. He got some significant work finally. He was able to break out. Got you 9 carries for 84 yards and a TD. You saw potential. That's huge going into the end of the season. And when they need, an X factor back, they're going to go with the hot hand. Akers, 4,500. Punt play. Put him at flex. And we're moving on to wide receiver. All right. Now, with the quarterbacks, I always say this. Quarterbacks, you need to find yourself a wide receiver to correlate. All right? Correlation. Your lineups need to tell a story. You have the quarterback, you need to have at least one receiver. Okay? You have to. It's must. Smart. All right. Devontae Adams. Duh. Yes. 9K. I'm going to be willing to pay for it. Definitely pay for it. We have Darius Slay. Defense, he is a solid corner, but he is not what he used to be. And Devontae Adams is an elite. He's my favorite wide receiver. I think he's number 1. Metcalf number 2. You can choose whoever you want. You want a big, muscly dude, you can. But I like Adams more. Metcalf, he's going to have a little tough assignment. Bradbury has been, showing up this year. You might want to lean more to Lockett in this game, but Metcalf is a number 1 talent, and it wouldn't surprise me if he goes off again because he does it every single week. Keenan Allen is someone to watch out for. I know how Belichick is, and he's going to be looking for that number 1 target, and he's going to try to shut him down. Gilmore is back. So Keenan Allen is someone I'm not really looking at. I would pair Herbert with another one of his wide receiver options. DeAndre Hopkins is going to deal with Ramsey. You got to watch out for that one. A.J. Brown against Cleveland. He's becoming matchup proof. It was a shocker what he did against Baltimore. And it's these late touchdowns too. And then what he did against Indianapolis, I did not expect that. Went to another level. 25 DK. Very nice performance. Tyler Lockett, I like going up against the number 2 corners and number 3 corners against the Giants. That is a good matchup for him. Adam Thielen being back is going to be big for this Minnesota Vikings offense. This is another pair of wide receivers that you can go with. Thielen and Justin Jefferson are a solid 1-2 punch to have in your lineups this week. Going up against Jacksonville, okay? I like the Vikings offense. Calvin Ridley, we need news on Julio Jones. Ridley's been solid anyway, but if he can avoid Lattimore coverage, then I like him more, okay? Fuller is out, so you're going to be looking more Brandon Cooks, Randall Cobb, Kiki Kuti, those type of options, but I don't like that matchup against Indy. Michael Thomas back down. I think he dropped 400. He's back down to 7K, and now he's going up against Atlanta. It's a team that he usually dominates, but this is Taysom Hill throwing him the ball. Taysom Hill was good in the first game, getting him the ball, so I would trust that he can do that again, especially with Atlanta's poor defense. So I like 7K Michael Thompson. I spoke about Justin Jefferson already at 6,900. This man is an elite wide receiver talent at a very, very young age. You saw him against Chicago. The targets are there. The breakout ability is there. Everything. He has everything. He has the whole package. I'm very impressed by him. Allen Robinson. I already got 2 Chicago Bears in there. Why not? Fuck it though. We're gonna throw in one more. All right. We got a triple stack, and if we got a triple stack, we're gonna have to bring it back with someone you choose. Okay? So if Swift's able to play, I'm throwing him in there. If not, I might have to look at Marvin Jones. Maybe. Is Galladay back? I don't know. Galladay's questionable. If he's back, I'll throw him in there because he's getting at a price that is really, really too cheap. I think we can go back. We can go back. This one I want to show you. Devontae Parker. If Fitzpatrick plays, I like Devontae Parker. I told you I was going to show you the receptions and the targets. It's there. 119 yards. He used him as a number 1. He can definitely do that against Cincinnati again. Okay. At 6,400, that's a solid price. Jarvis Landry, can he repeat this performance that he did last week against Jacksonville? He can. Especially against this Tennessee Titans pass defense, especially since he's now the number 1 option. We seen this last year with Odell Beckham injured. Landry was able to step up. I think we should take advantage of this before his price gets up to 7K. So 62 is very good. Cooper Kupp, I love this matchup for him. He should be more on the performances of week 11 and week 8. That's the type of guy he is. And this defense, Arizona, is not formidable. Robert Woods is very viable. He's 5,900. They dropped him that much. What? That's too cheap too. Like I told you about that double stack. I like that. Kupp, Woods, and Goff. That is a good trio right there. Brandon Cooks becomes a highly sought after wide receiver now, since he was already getting targets anyway, and you saw the consistency. Now maybe these touchdowns go up from 3 to maybe 4, 5, 6. He's going to be in a role where he's going to be the number 1. Okay, Brandon Cooks is going to finish the year strong. I like him, even though it's a tough matchup. I like him just off the fact that he's going to get those underneath routes, and he's going to get targeted a lot by Deshaun Watson. Jacoby Myers has been hit or miss now after the past few weeks. And I'm not going to trust Cam Newton, so I'm not really looking at Jacoby Myers. We need to wait on news for Chark. He was out last week, and someone emerged. I said Chenault, and Chenault did, what did he do? He did okay. He had 3 catches, 31 yards. But someone to look out for if Chark is out. Colin Johnson, the other rookie wide receiver that the Jacksonville Jaguars have, was someone who broke out. A rookie wide receiver, 4 receptions, got the targets, 8 of them, 96 yards and a touchdown. This is someone to look forward to as a punt play. We're going to put him in there at wide receiver. So I found you guys a little more value, okay? Just a little more value. We're off the Fulgham train. Nelson Aguilar is in a good spot. I told you I like Ruggs as well because he can definitely burn us as a team. Kirk is in a good spot. He's not in a good spot. He's in an okay spot with attention going to DeAndre Hopkins. Christian Kirk can take those secondary corners and exploit them. Okay, it's not a guarantee. It's a thought, but he'll probably be the better wide receiver on that team for this week. That I think so. Pittman. They dropped his price. I was all over him last week. I'm going to go back to the well. And you want to know why? Because the targets and the air yards are there. Okay? The air yards are there. The targets are there. They just couldn't connect. So if he would have caught those 7 balls, I guarantee you he would have had over 100 yards and a touchdown. And he's been the alpha on this Colts team ever since freaking week 9, since he came back, and has been more reacclimated to the offense. T.Y. Hilton just happened to show up against Tennessee, which he usually does once every year. He's going back to irrelevance. Okay, Mike Williams is a guy I like, with Bill Belichick focusing on Keenan Allen. Not looking at another Sanders, not really. Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins are decent options. They're getting looked at, surprisingly, from the change of quarterback with Brandon Allen. T. Higgins was able to get 5 catches, 5 targets, and 44 yards and 1 touchdown. That was a big surprise, and they're going to need to throw the ball. So that's someone to have as a cheap wide receiver to fill in, okay, in your lineups. T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd. Let's see who had more targets. Boyd had more targets, but I like the talent of Higgins. Of Higgins more, okay? Slayton, I'm not sure. I'm not sure I want to touch that. Daniel Jones is probably going to be out. They're going to be looking at Colt McCoy. That's really hit or miss. You're really throwing darts at that. Henry Ruggs, I told you against our Jets defense, 4,500. Watch out for that. And I think that's it. Mims is an option at 41. Perriman has been showing up. Those are 2 Jets options. And I think that's it. Kiki Kuti. There you go. Kiki Kuti, 3,500. He will see an increased role since Will Fuller is out. They're going to rearrange these wide receivers and get utilization out of all 3 of these guys that they have. And last but not least, because Lazard got a touchdown this past game, and he definitely can do it again, okay? They bumped him up a little bit. At 5K, Lazard is definitely a wide receiver to look out for, okay? And we're moving on to tight end. This is the last category we're going to look at. Defense, like I told you already, fill out this core, okay? Fill out your quarterbacks, your wide receivers, your running backs, your tight ends, your flexes, whatever you have left. Then you figure out your defense. Unless it's a situation where the Saints game, Saints against Denver with no quarterback. Of course, you would choose the Saints defense. Other than that, there are wishy-washy options and weird things that happen where, the Falcons defense was the defense to have last week. Like, at this point, there's no reason to look at defense. Okay? Tight end, we're looking. Darren Waller, solid. Almost a lock. Almost nearly. This is a lock. Jets defense, he's the number 1 target on this offense. Derek Carr should have a bounce-back performance in this game. TJ Hawkinson has been the favorite target for Matt Stafford, has been very consistent other than, a few games. But Hawkinson is going to get you double-digit fantasy points week in, week out. Evan Ingram is a tight end X factor each and every week. He let me down 2 weeks ago, bounced back very well against the Cincinnati Bengals. Didn't get in the end zone, but still got you 20 DK. He is very valuable. Hunter Henry is a decent option, but a guy I'm really looking at is going to be Dallas Goedert. Okay? In a must-win situation for the Philadelphia Eagles, even though I know they're going to lose, they need to put up offense, and the best option that Wentz has is Dallas Goedert. And you see it ever since he came back from injury. Week 10, 6 targets. Week 11, 6 targets. And then a big boost with 10 targets. And this is what he was doing at the end of last season. And that's what he was doing at the beginning of this season, even with Zach Ertz. Okay? Mike Gesicki is another tight end we're going to look at. Was able to get in the end zone. Fitzpatrick feeds him. He likes his size and speed. Gesicki is an option at 42. Jonnu Smith is one of Tannehill's options other than A.J. Brown and sometimes a sprinkle of Corey Davis. But in the red zone, it's either Derrick Henry or it's Jonnu Smith. Because most of A.J. Brown's TDs, he's breaking like 4 or 5 tackles or breaking a huge run. And it's like 60 yards. In that red zone, they're using the tight end or they're using Derrick Henry. That's what I noticed a lot from that offense. Other than that, if you want to get cute, I like Robert Tonyan. He's been consistent lately. He's still a top 10 tight end in fantasy. Hooper has a nice connection with Baker Mayfield. Got you a touchdown last week, and he might be leaned on a little bit more since Odell Beckham is out. Okay. And then other than that, I'm not really looking at these lower tight ends. If you see an injury and you want to take advantage of another certain situation, you can. But I'm more in this mid tier, that 4K area. I'm not going to get too cute. Give me someone that's going to get the targets and the looks and have an opportunity in the red zone. And that's these middle guys here. That's Goddard. That's Gesicki. That's Smith. That's Hooper. That's 5 guys right there to choose from. You don't have to get too cute. Okay? If you're really scrunching for salary and you want a punt tight end, Everett is always an option. Jacob Hollister is now the number one. Jordan Akins is a solid option as well. But you don't really need to go there, okay, this week. You don't really need to go there, especially if you're saving money at QB and some of these wide receiver spots. You can afford to pay up a little more at tight end. And that's all I see for this week. We're gonna probably find more locks later in. I'm gonna do another video on Saturday and get the final lock in for this week 13 slate. But that's all I see. I thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. You see it at the bottom. Also follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MessageSD. If you got any questions, hit me up there. Hit me up in the comment section. You guys did a good job on the last video for doing that. And I want some more feedback, man. We at 186. Let's get to 200. Thank you guys, and peace out.